to see you guys here. Why, thank you. You guys got tricked today. I'm speaking today. It's not Scott. I know you guys are hyped up. So you got the shorter, better-looking version of Scott today. So you guys are welcome. You're welcome, Scott. But I'm sharing today. I'm kind of excited about this topic because it's something dear to me. And the title of my message is called Aromatherapy. And just so you know, where's Salty at? Is Salty right here? Oh, there he is. Now, Salty, if I can get you lined up with me right away, if I can get you in first, I know I can get a lot of people going on this, all right? So I know you thought this was a message, but actually it's a sales pitch for aromatherapy. I'm selling essential oils, and I got some right here. I think you want a lavender. Is that what you wanted? I don't know. Lavender, yeah. But if I can get you going with me on this, it's not really a multi-level marketing, guys. It's not a pyramid scheme, okay? It's not. It's real. It's a real business. I'm kidding. I'm joking. But the message title is Aromatherapy. And I'm talking about the sense of smell and why it's important. And don't just follow along with me a little bit. It's gonna attach to scripture and why smell is important. But to me, smell is important. Is smell important to you guys? It's good, right? Well, I did some studies on this, not real in depth, but I'm not a doctor or a psychologist or a scholar, but I went in and kind of researched some things about smell because I have a real sensitive nose to certain things. And some things really mess me up for a long time. I smell something and it just doesn't go away. I don't know. But as we know, I'm going to read some of this stuff here for you guys. The smell has a remarkable ability to transport us back to time, triggering vivid and emotional recollections. Everybody experience that? The sense of smell can have a powerful impact on our lives, affecting our emotions and memories. Smell can trigger memories, and we're 100 times, I didn't know this, we're 100 times more likely to recall an aroma than something we've seen, heard, or touched. That's how powerful our smell is. Now, we can research that to make sure it's 100% accurate, but I do know that smell is very powerful. So, this is a little diagram here of the power of scent. And as you can see here, there's a few things that smell good, like apples are pleasing, rosemary, lemon, vanilla, all those yummy things. It has fresh cut grass. I don't know about that. Everybody, I guess sometimes people like grass been cut. I don't know. It makes me want to sneeze. But it's just kind of a little diagram of showing how powerful it is. There's a little bit of science behind it. I'll share with you real quick. The olfactory bulb, the part of the brain that's responsible for processing smells, is directly connected to the I can't pronounce this, hippocampus, not yes, thank you. A key region involved in memory formation. So, it's interesting. This connection allows sense to bypass the thalamus, a relay center for sensory information, and directly accesses the memory center of our brains. So like when you smell something, it's like, I don't know about you, but when I smell things, it just, boom, you're immediately brought back to something impactful, good or bad. It definitely smell has an emotional attachment to it. Smells can evoke powerful emotions, often trigger memories that have been long forgotten. Have anybody experienced that? You're like, you smell something, you're like, what? Oh my gosh, I'm just transported back. I didn't remember that moment, but now I do. And it becomes like so vivid in your mind. A particular scent can instantly transport us back in time and a place, bringing with it flood of emotions and sensations. You can almost feel that experience. This is because smell are often associated with significant events, experiences in our lives, good and bad. And I wish I could say all the great smells I've experienced, but also there's some bad smells, that come along, and it'll bring you back to that moment too. I can think of many. As being a father, when my kids were sick, there's a certain smells there that transports me right back to that particular time of sleepless nights and trying to overcome my weakness for changing diapers and other things. I know some of us are new fathers and fathers on the way, and you know what? Get ready, guys. Buckle up. It's going to get crazy. So I'll be your emotional support from afar. I'll be giving you high fives and like encouragement, but don't. I'm not getting involved here. So you're on your own. I remember when my wife used to get so mad at me when I was dealing with the kids, and I'd literally run across the street because the smell would just hit me hard. She said, "Would you just suck it up already? Come on, help me out." I'm like, "Try it." I'm on the curb crying. I can't do it. It's a true story. But for example, powerful smells like childhood memories, right? Maybe the smell of freshly baked cookies can invoke nostalgia and memories. Childhood holidays, families. I mean, remember at Christmas time or smelling the tree, a particular perfume or cologne that can trigger strong emotions. Now, I got some teenage boys in my house. Let me tell you, I got some strong odors going on. It can trigger some things. Got some things. I remember when I was a kid, it was all about the cologne and like get this, and no one knows how to like put it on correctly. It's like one squirt's not enough. It's like 20 squirts, and you know, you can smell it. You know, my wife's a teacher. She can relate to that of just the smells in a junior high classroom of people taking baths in body spray and Axe. But it can be potent. But also it can place association. The smell of a certain flower or a particular location can transport us back to that place, even if we haven't been there in a long time. And I recently was on a vacation to a place, and it had a lot of different flowers I've never seen before or smells, and I'm just kind of walking around. I'm getting hit with these aromas. I'm like, wow, what is that? That was different. And I can think now, right now, even though it wasn't that long ago, it was only a couple weeks, but I can feel like I'm just transported back, like just thinking about that moment and that beautiful scent that I encountered, like, of strange fruits and flowers. It's awesome. Anybody here have a favorite smell or something you can smell or think about that brings you back to childhood? Like what? You can't smell? Okay. Yeah? Yes. Feet? That's a good, you know what? That's right. Anybody else got some smells? Yeah. Sagebrush? What does it remind you of? Back home. Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right? Anyone else? Yeah. Right? It's true. Some things are not just like a pleasant smell, but it has pleasant memories attached to it. You know, and it's like, yeah, right? Cows and horses. Yep. A lot of time in the barn. Yep. For me, there's some. I can think about like a baseball glove. I can smell the baseball glove. Just a scent of the leather. It reminds me of my childhood playing baseball, my dad playing catch, or just in those moments playing. I was a catcher. Just all that just floats back to me. When I smell like leather or like dirt, it reminds me of your old truck you had, that 55 Chevy or what was it? I don't know. It immediately brings me back sitting there, and I've been there for like almost 50 years. But it's just weird how certain things, even if they're not overtly like a pleasant smell, but it's just a smell that can have a beautiful memory attached to it. And also could have the opposite. It could bring us back to trauma. It could bring us back to other things in our lives. Now you talk about you can't smell, right? All right. Yeah, that's a good smell. Cedar. Well, I mean, can you imagine if we lost our sense of smell, right? Like you have, it directly affects us, right? Like when you have a cold and you eat your favorite thing, it just doesn't taste right. It's like, it tastes like, And when COVID happened, a lot of people lost their smell with COVID. It really affected them. I had a coworker, he was my boss, and he got COVID. And he called me up, and I had to drive way out to the Dallas and drop off some computer stuff to him. He's like, man, I can't smell nothing. I mean, I can't smell things, but it smells like pee. Everything smells like pee now. And it's terrible. And so food smells like pee. My kids smell like, my wife, everything smells like pee. And I'm like going nuts. I don't know what. And it happened for like 3 months. He just smelled pee all the time. And I thought he was going to lose his mind. I'm like, well, I'd rather smell nothing than smelling pee. But I think about those times where like for me, I have lost some of my smell. And I think it's COVID related, or it could be anything. But I don't know what it is, but I can't smell like some bad things right now. I usually would smell, without going into detail, but like bodily function stuff or whatever. And my kids and my wife be like, "Can't you smell that? The cat did something over here." I'm like, I don't smell anything. I'm like, really? I'm like, I don't know how, because usually I was so sensitive to that, and I can't. So I'm gonna just chalk that up to a win for myself, as I can't smell the bad things. I want to stick with the good things, like when you're the power of smell is like when you're walking down, and there's some great marketing employees with this too. As you're walking, remember they're walking in the mall, and all of a sudden you get, I'm pretty sure they're pumping it through the vents of like Cinnabon, and you get hit with the Cinnabon smell, and you're like, oh man, and you feel like you just got grabbed and you're being dragged back to this area. Or we went to the fair this summer, and they were just, I'm getting hit in the face with the elephant ear smells and those other ones, and I'm a big corn dog connoisseur, and all of a sudden that smell hits me in the face. I'm like, oh man, I gotta get me some. I don't want to spend the money, but I must do it. It's very powerful. So you might be thinking, where is this going? Why are we talking about smell? This is weird, dude. And this guy is really over the top about smelling things. But I promise you, we're going to connect here. And we're talking about the impact, the aromas. We're talking about aroma and the impact the smell has. The Bible talks a lot about aroma and what aromas that are pleasing to God. You see, in the Old Testament, when they had sacrifices, they'd have burnt offerings and they'd bring things there, and they'd also have burnt sage and all these other things. And that was a time where it would permeate the whole area. It would permeate the city. Like when that was going on, they knew that it was time to connect with the Lord. They knew it was time to lay down whatever they're carrying. They knew it was time to have just a connection and to bring your troubles, or to bring your stuff, and you put it on the altar, and it was a way for you to get forgiveness and to have connection with the Lord. And that happened for many thousands of years, and until Jesus came, right? Jesus came and became the ultimate sacrifice to end all those things, right? So when that happened, something changed. We no longer needed to go over there and burn things and do all this stuff that was crazy back. I mean, for us to think of it now, but then, if you think about when the sacrifice was going on, they're burning all this stuff, how it would just permeate everything. The whole area would be, you could not smell it. And I think that was a big part of like us remembering, this is who God is, this is who we serve, this is who I'm supposed to be following, when that's permeating the air. But now, when Jesus came, he was the ultimate sacrifice, so some things changed. You don't have to do that anymore, right? So now we have become what is called a living sacrifice to him. And that sounds weird, right? What is that? What is a living sacrifice? That sounds really weird, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. What it means is just basically living a life, sacrificing things in our own life, right, for him. Things that, living a certain way. And basically it's just choosing others over ourselves, choosing God's love over things that aren't aligning with his character. And that's what it means. Here in the New Testament, the Apostle Paul uses a beautiful metaphor to describe the Christian life. So we are to be a pleasing aroma to God. In Ephesians 5:2 it says, this imagery paints a vivid, in Ephesians 5:2, sorry. This imagery paints a vivid picture of the life that is a fragrant, delightful in his sight, right? So it's a metaphor. Let's talk about what that means, what that metaphor means. The metaphor of a pleasing aroma suggests several qualities that God finds attractive in his followers, right? That's attractive. And what could that be? What could that be? In 2 Corinthians 2:12-14, it says, we are like a sweet smell to God. It is a smell of Christ. It is a smell of Christ we have. We have the sweet smell among the people who are saved, among those who are lost. we have a sweet smell among those who are saved, us and those who are lost. And I think about what that means, and it's a very powerful thing to me, because when someone leaves a room or something, what is lingering behind them? What is their last impression? What is lingering behind us when we encounter others? Are we a sweet smell? Is it going to gravitate towards people towards us, or are we going to push people away? And so how do we have this aroma? In Ephesians 5:2, Christians are to live a life of love, just as Christ loved them and gave himself up as a sacrifice to God. Right? To live a life of love, just as Christ loved them and gave himself up to be a sacrifice of love. So here's a few things that kind of go along with what it kind of looks like, maybe, for us to live a life that would be a pleasing aroma to others and to the Lord. Life of purity. Christians should live a life free from sin, characterized by purity of heart and mind, devotion to the Lord, sacrifice, the production of a pleasing aroma that would often involve sacrifice, effort, like self-denial of things, how we acting in ways that would be honor the Lord versus how our flesh wants to act and react to other people, sacrificial time. There's a lot of things, but I want to move down here to where this really hits home for me. And it's doing things in love. I think as Christians, this might sound funny, but you guys ever, do you remember that striped gum back in the day, with the zebra striped gum? It had all the fruity flavors on it. And fruit stripes, yes. It was so good. You eat that and man, this is banging. And then it lasts for 20 seconds. You're like, man, you got to pop another one in, and you just keep rocking those things, but they were so good. We need to be like this gum. We need to be fruity. This is why. It sounds weird. We should have a fruity smell to us, because our life should be operating in the fruits of the Spirit. It says we should be living in love, joy, peace, patience, kindness. These are pleasing things of the Lord. Goodness, faithfulness, self-control, forbearance. And we hear that word forbearance, and I just researched it more. What does forbearance mean? What does that mean? It's really dealing with people that we don't like or have a struggle with, and maybe that are offensive to us, and we have maybe the power or the right to shut them down or whatever. But forbearance is really walking with those people in love and in kindness, right? And to me, this is what really hits home for me, and especially with what's going on right now with society and the elections, all these things, all this stuff's going on that's trying to create all this division. And we had to talk about that, a staff meeting about this a while back, but how are we going to interact with people, And forbearance is one of those things where I can choose to not be offended or react and bear with someone else and walk with someone else and still love them and be kind, right? And loving. Doesn't mean you have to agree with them. It doesn't mean you have to just go along with them. It just means you know what? I can walk with somebody. I can disagree with them, or someone can be offensive to me without me being nasty back. Like I'm saying, as smells, we can have a great smell, but also we can have the opposite effect. Especially as believers, we can have the opposite effect of what we want to portray. Has anybody ever smelled spoiled milk? It's that's a smell that you smell that once, it's ingrained in your mind and your soul and your spirit forever. It's you open that up, and I remember when I was a kid, my mom worked at the school. She worked on the lunch detail for another school, and this school had way better food than my school. It was awesome. And I remember Christmas break, she came home, she's brought all this, they don't do it anymore, but she brought just a ton of food home. It was cinnamon rolls and all this yummy stuff, and she had racks of my favorite drink. My favorite drink is chocolate milk. I love chocolate milk. And I used to joke, we used to go out, And when I was younger, some people go to the bar, order a beer, and I'm ordering chocolate milk. Like, give me one of those. They're like, what? I see you mixing it back there, bro. Bring it out to me. That's what I want. And I love it. And I remember when I was a kid, I was so excited. And I was just pounding these suckers, man. Boom, boom, all day, play outside, and boom. And then one day, I just opened one up, and I just pounded one, and it was rotten. I was like, what happened? Why? No. It was terrible. It was terrible. And ever since then, it has jacked me up. Like, every time I get a milk cart, I'm like scrutinizing the date. I'm looking at it. I'm like over the top now. Before, I was just like footloose and fancy free, just pounding milk left and right. Boom, this is good. Yeah, chocolate milk. But it messed me up. It messed me up. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it messed me up. And I was like, I just want to enjoy this. I can't enjoy it like I used to anymore. But we as followers, we can have the same effect on other people. We can be spoiled milk to other people. We can be it. And it's real easy. It's real easy to do. And it's like, it grieves me. It grieves me. Read my notes here. And that's why it always comes back to me, like having the fruits of the Spirit. I don't want to be spoiled milk. I want to be striped gum. I want to be fruity. I want people to know, like, man, if this person walks in here, they feel. And have you ever met somebody like that? I've met a few people like that where I just encountered them. I'm like, dude, I want to be with that guy all the time. I just want to hang out with him. I don't know what's about this guy, but I am drawn to him. I have a good friend of mine named Joe, and he's like that. The first time I met him, and when he leaves, when he leaves me, do whatever, I just sit. I'm just like, I just feel peace. I'm calm. I'm like, wow, why do I feel that way? This guy is he's such a great guy. He's just so kind and loving, and it just, in my mind, like, that's what I want to be. I want people to be in my presence at work, or at the gym, wherever I go, to want to be drawn to me, not because I'm awesome, but just because how I act and how I move. I want my aroma to be pleasing and enticing. I know it sounds weird, but you know what I'm saying. And this guy, he's like that. It's just like, if I could see, like a camera, I don't know, like you see those cameras, infrared cameras that can see like people's smells or whatever. Have you seen those? I just see like a cloud, him walking around with a cloud of just like love and peace and kindness. Wherever he goes, it's just like, everywhere he goes, just people are drawn to him. Like, and every time you bring his name up, like, oh, that dude's the nicest guy. That guy is, he's the greatest guy. He's so just, yeah. And because this dude walks in the fruits of the Spirit, and I've seen him in circumstances where he's had to use self-control and forbearance and all these different things. I'm watching this guy, and I'm like, dude, that's what I'm trying to aspire to be more like in my life on a daily, not just with strange, but even more with my family, like in my family first. I want to be that person. I want to have an impact on the others. There was a time in the gym, it's a true story. I got a lot of weird gym stories, really awkward ones. But I was at the gym one time, and I'm working out, and I'm on the treadmill, and I got my little workout outfit on. I don't wear shorts as short as Scott. I don't wear my wife's shorts like Scott does, but I just wear regular shorts. And I'm working out. I'm running on the treadmill, doing my thing, and I'm pretty psyched up. I'm like, yeah, I'm killing it. I was a lot better shape. I was less chubby than I am now. And I was just like going to town. And I'm looking at, in my mind, I'm literally thinking I'm pretty legit, right? And this guy comes up next to me on the treadmill. And I look over at him, and this dude got slacks on. He has a button-up shirt. And I'm like, what is going on with this guy? And I immediately started judging him. I'm like, this guy obviously doesn't know how to work out. Obviously doesn't know to wear the right gym attire. Obviously this dude is, oh man, I'm like just trucking. He's not even going as fast as I am. I'm just going. And I'm like, and I keep looking over at him. I'm like, this dude, what is wrong with this guy? Why is he wearing slacks? How do you work out in slacks? I'm like, how does he wear a button-up shirt on the treadmill? This is ridiculous. And I'm like, just going. And all of a sudden I start getting hit with the smell. Nasty smell. I'm like, oh man, this dude smells. He stinks. He even smells. He looks weird. He's doing it weird, and he smells. And I'm getting all up in my head. I'm like, oh, this guy, geez, you just need to get out of this gym, bro. You shouldn't even be in the gym. You don't even know what's going on here. You need to get your things figured out. And I'm just going and going. And I start getting like into myself, thinking how awesome I am, and I'm looking at him. And then, I look over, and I'm listening to my music, and I have my eyes closed. I'm just kind of going for it, and I look over, and he's gone. Oh, he must have took off, whatever. So I keep going and going, but guess what? The smell's still there. The smell is even stronger than it was before. My house smells stronger now than it was before. How's this even possible? I'm like, what? And I'm looking around, and it's just me. It's just me on the treadmill. I'm like, and then reality hits. It's me. I'm the one that smells. I'm the stinky one in the gym. I'm the one that people are probably pointing out. Look at that idiot over there. That dude freaking reeks. It was me. And it hit me so hard. I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh my gosh. And I just got hit with guilt. I was like, well, here I am, judging somebody I don't even know. Open my business, thinking I'm awesome. And I'm thinking he smells, and I'm thinking, what is his problem? And it's been me the whole time. I say that because as Christians, we can be that same way. We can be so into ourselves and how much we read and what we're doing, and we're coming looking just right and thinking we're all awesome. And we're ready to be on Facebook going, shooting these things left and right on there, or whatever you want to do, confronting everybody you want to confront. And we're looking at or boasting ourselves up, and we're thinking we're amazing, but we don't understand that we're spoiled milk. We're casting a shadow of things that no one would want to be a part of. Like, why do I want to be a part? That person seems angry. That person seems, just unkind. And like, it just really grieves me. It reminds me of me at the gym. And I vowed I will never be that guy again. Lord, help me. I felt guilty for months about it. It's like, man, how dare I put myself on some kind of pedestal? How dare I think I'm greater than I am? How dare I? And for whatever reason, that's how God works with me. He likes to, I get set up and I get just tripped down. Everything that happens to me is like pretty dramatic. And I think I'm a hard learner. That's what I need. But that was a wake-up call for me, and just how I conduct myself in the gym, of course. Now I just hide in the corner now and just do my thing. I'm like, don't look at me. Don't look directly at my eyes, okay? Just let me do my thing. I'm not like Ethan working out and has a camera watching myself do my thing. I can't do that. But it really impacted me, and it just, for us as believers, we want to be that kind of person. We want to be someone who, when we're at work, when we're at home, I say home first, at work, when we're in public, how we conduct ourselves, how we act. Are we someone who's going to be attractional? And I'm not saying this to be fake. I'm saying this because everything we do should be rooted in love, right? And that's where it starts. If anything I do, it should start there first. Is this for the betterment of someone else? Is this for the betterment? Is this going to be something I can think about at night and not feel guilty about my actions? And I say this because I feel, even right now what's going on in society, election things and everything is set up to be polarizing and to be pushed against. And I really feel we have such an opportunity to be a sweet aroma to everyone. Have an opportunity to express kindness and love and joy. I want to be someone, and I think we should be someone who, when we walk into a situation, they're not, it's going to be drama. We should be the ones who are peacemakers, are bringing peace. We should be the ones heading the field and understanding and action of what kindness looks like. We should be the ones that spearhead things that are going to bring goodness into people's lives. I want to be a Krispy Kreme for the Lord. You know, the Krispy Kreme light is on. I knew a guy who that light would come on, and we almost wrecked one time. He's like, the light's on. And, like, and he just whipped over 3 lanes, went in there, and I was shocked. I'm like, I've never seen anybody do that before. Okay, I mean, he had the smell hit him, and then he ran to the convenience store and got a moon pie. I don't know. It was pretty crazy. I just want to bring that today. This is not a long message, but this is really where it's hit me. How do I be a pleasing aroma to the Lord? How is it? How do I love God? You know, how do I love something I can't see really or touch? How do I convey that to? How do I share my gratitude? And that's another thing. Gratitude is another way. It's like, man, can I just be grateful and thankful in the morning for what's in my life? I can sure talk about all the things I don't have, but it never makes me feel good. And I shared this the other day. There's a lot of times where we all face those moments. Like, man, life sucks right now. And you can just go down that path of all the things that suck. This is terrible. This is terrible. And I'm not trying to downplay anybody's situation. I'm just saying that we can get in those mindsets, or we can turn our mind to gratitude. And I've had those moments where I've had to sit in my car and I'm feeling so down and I feel terrible and I feel like, what's the point? And I just start listing off every little thing that I'm thankful for. Little things like, I got gas in my car. I'm hungry, I got a protein bar in my backpack, or just all the way up, I have a place to live right now. There's macaroni in a box in my cupboard. I can make that. That's food. My kids are healthy. My family's healthy. You know, gratitude. Gratitude can be contagious too with other people. We don't want to be, as followers, we shouldn't be Eeyores. You know Eeyore? We shouldn't be Eeyores in life. Oh, it's me. What's up? Everything sucks. I don't want to be here. Got to work with Richard. I'm just kidding. I love Richard. He's awesome. Thanks, man. But gratitude is another thing. It's pleasing. And this is kind of want to leave us today. It's just thinking about what you want to smell like. What is your lasting impression on people? And I'll be honest, including myself, some of y'all, we need some aromatherapy. Like, we need to get therapy in our lives to get fixed up so we can start changing some actions in our life. You know, when you look at the fruits of the Spirit, like, man, some things are hard in there, man. Forbearance is a hard one. Self-control is a hard one. Love is a hard one. Some people are easy to love, and some people are like a cactus. You try to hug them, and you're going to get pricked every time. But you know they need it, but you're like, Right, forget it. I'm coming in for a hug. Anyways, I want to get bit. But that's basically what I wanted to share with you guys. It just looking at ourselves, our lives, and how we interact with others, and what it is that we're going to leave them with. Because smell is a powerful thing, you know, and it's spiritual as well. And I want to be like my friend Joe. I want to be like other friends in my life. Where like when they leave me, when we have a conversation, they're gone. I'm not feeling down. I'm not feeling depressed. I'm feeling built up. I'm feeling, wow. I felt noticed. I felt seen. I felt encouraged. That person brought peace in my life. Maybe that person brought some joy in my life. That is what we're here to do. To love God. and love others like ourselves. And that's been, for me, this season, is learning how to love myself so I can love others better. And that's treating yourself with kindness as well. And sometimes you gotta look in the mirror and you say, damn, you're good looking. You're great. Do some self-talk. And if you don't feel it, sometimes you just gotta say it like, man, God did good when he put this together right here. He did some good things. When you want to say the opposite, speak life over yourself as well. So, think about this week. Think about this, through this whole period of election time, all these things that's going on. Think about this at your work. How do you want to be remembered? How do you want to be seen? When you're not there, how are people going to talk about you? Right? I really feel we have such an immense opportunity right now to be the leaders, the ones that are spearheading, the ones that are leading the run of kindness and love and joy and peace, and bringing that and trying to bring that in every situation we encounter, whether it be at work or at home or online or whatever we're doing. Let's be that. Let's be that representation. Not perfection, but be the representation of what God has done in us and the love that we have. Because God's ultimate sacrifice was out of love. And we can sacrifice out of love for others too. So don't be like me, getting caught up in self-righteousness and all about yourself and being really stinky, not even knowing it. Because a lot of people don't know they smell. And sometimes you got to tell a friend, I'm not trying to be rude, but I got some right guard and you can use it. Or better than that, you can have it. You can just have it, okay? Or you know what? I'm not trying to be rude, but if you want to take a shower, I won't be upset. Or no one here will be upset either. We'll be excited about you. I know. There's a guy in my high school who was like that. It was a terrible story, but poor guy. He smelled really bad all the time, and he came from bad. And this is back in the day. I probably shouldn't share this story. I probably won't get canceled right now. But I just remember he had such a terrible home, and then we take showers. It was back in our day, old days, there was everybody took group showers, right? In high school. And I remember he'd be in the shower, and it was so, it smells so good. People would take soap while he's washing and put a little more on his head because he kept washing. And it would take forever to get washed because he think he's done, and someone sneak over there and put a little more soap on his head. He'd keep scrubbing it. And he'd be like, what's going on? This is taking forever. And someone else would come over and sneak a little more soap on top of his head. But it was out of love. We just wanted him to get clean. But sometimes we got to do that to our friends. If you're a good friend, a good friend will tell another friend, you smell. All right? So if you come up to me and tell me I smell, I'll cry for a little bit internally, and then I'll say thank you. Yes. That's how it is. I was a youth pastor for years, and man, let me tell you, some of our camping trips and mission trips and stuff, they got odoriferous. That's all I'm saying. But that's all I want to share. Let's just pray. And again, the worship team come back up here. Lord, you're so good. I just thank you. I thank you for just thank you, Lord, for, I thought we were going to push me off the stage. Lord, I just thank you, Lord, that we have the ability to smell and to partake in beautiful things. Not just with our sight or the ears, but all the senses, God. And like you said, we really want to be a sweet aroma to you. But God, to others as well. To have a reputation of kindness and joy and peace bringers. Of hope bringers in every situation we're in. Just be with us this week. Help us to bring that into our jobs and our families. and in all we do. We need more of you. Amen.